A man in Mobile, Alabama pulls out a box of letters, more than 100 of them, and sits down with Michelle Savelle, who has come from Seattle to peer into the naked heart of her father, to read his words.
Dear Pearl, I love you. I can say no more.
They were written to Pearl Schwartz.
Pearl Schwartz was my father's great aunt, my grandmother's aunt.
In 1912, Pearl knew a boy named Max Savelle. They attended Barton Academy, and in the time it took for a small oak to grow tall and strong, they lived a desperate, forbidden romance for 70 years.
What do I think of you?
Why, I love you more and more and more when I think that you love me.
The letters were found after Pearl's death by John Zellniker's father. When he died, John found them, tied together with a note on top.
These are my letters from Max Savelle, to be burned when I pass on.
Everything is quiet and restful. I dreamed of you again last night.
A beautiful dream. Sorry.
The request was ignored. The kind of love the letters in the box describe can never be destroyed.
I only
wish it would come true soon. Good night, my little girl. Much love, more than ever, Max.
She played piano. That was her in the back row. He was a tenor, the boy sitting in the middle. They performed together. In her high school annual next to his name, Pearl wrote,
"Oh, you, Max."
And she also wrote to herself,
One look from him and you feel as though you are standing in the center of the earth with the world revolving around you.
They took this picture. Maybe they thought it would always be like this, and they might well have lived their love forever, but for the love of God.
I understand. I have understood from the beginning.
Pearl was Jewish. This was her synagogue. Max, a devout Southern Baptist, attended this church. Their love was considered to be religious betrayal. Parents intervened, lines were drawn, hearts broken.
I cannot come to the club anymore. I am very weak, and cannot make myself undergo the torture it would mean for me. And why? Because I love you.
They made a pact to love secretly forever.
Dear Pearl, I received your letter yesterday with greater joy than I've ever received before in my life. Loving secretly suits me fine, just as long as we can love each other at all. I am tickled to death.
Max left Mobile in 1918. They saw each other perhaps one time after that.
How terrible it is that we must forever remain separated.
Their relationship would be confined to the written word.
My soul is so much smaller, so less capable of feeling, so far below yours in the grade towards the spiritual, that I bow in humility and reverence before the shine of your love.
Max eventually married at 40, and then again and again.
The thing that takes me back, of course, is the fact that there are historical...
He ended up at the University of Washington, a much-honored history professor. His love didn't stay inside the lines. Even as a married man, he kept writing letters to Pearl, and he would for the rest of his life.
We actually have 9 boxes of papers of his.
The life's work of Max Savelle is hidden away at the University of Washington, but there is nothing here from Pearl. Her letters were never found. Through the 50s, their doomed love lived on in words.
You built a fence of starlight around your soul, that none might enter there. Remember? But still, I think your soul overleaped that wall, and all unknown to you, it came into my own and dwelled there. For in the inmost chamber of my heart you are, and you are mine, and dwell in me forever.
And into the 60s.
You have found your life, I imagine, in your beautiful world of music and friends and family, while I have wandered through many worlds. And yet as I think back through the years, home was always where you were.
Pearl never married, never had children, perhaps never got over Max. By the late 70s, their world was so different. Max was old and dying, and he knew it.
The prospect ahead of me is grim, to say the least.
And still he wrote, no longer to say, I love you, but to say instead, thank you.
Pearl, I have wished to thank you for your get well letters and cards. They do cheer me up, and they encourage me
because I know you love me. So keep writing. My love to you, as always, Max.
Those were the last words of the last letter that Max ever wrote to Pearl. He left this world in 1979. She died 3 months later.
Ah, I feel like I want to cry.
35 years after his death, a woman from Seattle understands her father in a way she never could before. And a man in Mobile, Alabama, carefully puts a box of old letters away.